Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with episode 2 of Project Tranmere. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that first episode. As I mentioned then, I'm excited for this series. I'm still excited now as we continue to set things up here in the early stages. Of course, in the last episode, we got things underway. We've already brought a couple of promising players into the squad. Russell Gibbs in goal, and perhaps the most important person thus far, Josh Wilson as well, another Canadian who's looking really solid. But this is going to be the journey of Moritz Meyer potentially leading Tranmere to an incredible run of success. I have high hopes for Mr. Meyer throughout this series. That said, we have a little bit more to take care of in terms of scouting. Of course, we have our permanent English scout, Ewan Cooper. That's the closest I'm going to get with that. But we also have Medeiros and Ennis. Of course, Medeiros right now, more of our serious scout. And then we have Ennis, more of our joke scout. Now, there were a couple of repeat names that popped up. One for the serious category and one for the joking category, kind of. So Medeiros, as our serious scout, is going to go to Spain this next time out. He'll be there for 3 months. And the joke scout, Mr. Andrew Ennis, will be heading. Now, granted, it's not the biggest joke of a nation in terms of there hasn't been anybody great to come out of this nation, because there certainly has been. But it's going to be Sweden. We're going to try to find the next Zlatan out in Sweden. We'll see what we can do there. So we'll see who the next batch of hopefully great talents will be. And aside from that, we are good to carry on. Now, I'm not sure if I want to continue as I did in the last episode with just being like, okay, here's the update, because really there's not a whole hell of a lot going on right now. Like, I'm pretty much just running this team into the ground while we continue to train up players. So really all you're missing is this. We jump into a game, we see what the hell happens. Lincoln's going to absolutely destroy us, I'm sure. 3-2-1. Or not. We'll get a 2-1 win. But that's really the only thing right now. And of course, with the majority of the team still not being players that we've scouted and players that we've developed, there really isn't that connection yet. We still have too many players who were initially on this roster, in my opinion at least. So aside from simming that game and handling the training, there's really not a whole hell of a lot to do. So I think I am going to continue that trend. Maybe as the team finally starts to take shape with our actual prospects, we will pay more attention and just sim and keep this, long form like I do with every other series. For now, though, I'm going to jump ahead. I will see you on November 1st. So funny enough, things are looking up for the Tranmere Rovers right now. We're up to 11th in the league table, which is hilarious to me, on 23 points. We've been in a really good run of form throughout the month. Of course, we started off with that joke of a win against Lincoln. We beat Morecambe as well, which I know I'm butchering that, and I'm sorry. We beat Macclesfield as well. Lost to Yeovil, just coming off a 2-1 win against Crawley Town. And Forest Green's only one loss throughout the month, which again is hilarious when you look at this team. We have driven them into the dirt, and they're still winning games. It's absolutely hilarious. Myers up to a 60, Wilson at a 58, Gibbs at a 59. But they are responding well. Now, before we get to the next batch of recruits, of course, our first coming in from Spain and Sweden as well, what I wanted to showcase here is the fact that there are the vast majority of players that we currently have in the Youth Academy that just aren't going to cut it in terms of having that quick enough development. So Morgan here, obviously, but someone like Martin, it's not going to work. And Newman as well, Hans Newman, who we signed, and the other one as well, Patrick Newman. They have the good potential, but just the development as a promising player isn't there. It's going to take them forever, if ever, to actually get there. So we have Morgan, for example. I mean, Moritz Meyer is, that's obvious. We also have Sean Bailey as a midfield option. He's the only one that actually has the promising player trait. We're looking good center back wise with Archie Kelly, Mason Morgan, who I still think is going to be a monster for us, and Torben Weber. There's the fullbacks as well. I couldn't speak for a second. I lost my train of thought. I was looking at the list of players that I marked down, and I saw somebody missing. That is why. And in fairness, it was Archie Kelly, because I had him listed last, even though he's first on the list. So that was my mistake. So you can kind of see some of the weaknesses right now. Obviously, goalkeeper, there's exceptions, because we needed goalkeepers. We sold everybody, including Shamal George, which still broke my heart a little bit. So we're going to take a look here at who might be worth getting rid of. So Oliver Davies, for example, not one of those players listed as promising. 60 to 82. He's not gonna make it. He's a 41 overall. We're gonna go ahead and release him. Morgan will stay, obviously. 66 to 90. He's going nowhere. Alfie Watson's an interesting one, where he's not on the list of players with the promising tag. The potential's still not that bad, but I think I'm gonna drop him. That's an interesting one where we need bodies, but considering he's 16 and a 44, I'm not going to give him like that special exception of, oh yeah, for sure he's going to make it. Like, no, that'd be a challenge as it is. Archie Kelly will stay for the moment. Eric White, unfortunately, not going to make it. We'll go ahead and release him. Sean Bailey is staying for obvious reasons. Mason Morgan is staying. We really need to look at trading up that overall, and that is what I'm focusing on, is trying to get everybody at least up to a 50, and then up to a 55, and slowly progressing. Fabian Baumann, 63 to an 81, doesn't have that promising player development, but he might still be worth keeping. I gotta admit, though, I think I'm gonna ditch him. I think I'm gonna ditch him, too. Benjamin Roth, 63 to an 81, didn't have the trait. We're gonna go ahead and drop him. Moritz Schmitz will also be on the way out. The vast majority of our players are heading out. Torsten Weber will be staying. Evan Martin as well will be gone. Like I said, the vast majority of these guys just aren't going to develop, and we have enough promising players already. Zimmerman's going to be on the way out here too. We have enough promising players already that it's still worth prioritizing the best of the best. And unfortunately, Peter Taylor's going to be on the way out too. So these are the main 5 that we have at the moment, on top of course, already having a couple of players signed. We'll see what recruits we end up bringing along. But in terms of trying to develop these guys, I actually think I'm going to take Meyer, Wilson, and Gibbs out for now, just because they're actually getting that regular bit of playing time. So Morgan, go ahead, and again, I'm so glad now that you can train up strength and sprint speed, and that whole garbage side effect of the training system is no longer a thing. It's quite nice. We'll be going to center backs here. So at the very least, the future center back-wise is looking good, which is great news for us, as you would have seen. We really didn't have anybody signed at center back, so about time January comes around and Month and Ellis end up leaving. That's going to put us into a little bit of a bad spot. So we'll go ahead and train up these 3, and from there we're good to go. Let's go ahead and sim this, and then we'll get to the next batch of recruits. Again, England, Spain, and Sweden will be where the reports are coming from. And yes, I have my fingers crossed that we're going to find the next Latam. We got 3 months to do it before we move on, and we'll see what happens from there. Here we go. So Cooper, our English scout, first and foremost. Peter Harris is going to be worth signing for the moment. No guarantees that he stays long term. George Rose will hold off on. Oscar King, I think we'll hold off on there too. Try to scout him out a little bit more. Elliot Roberts, if that is accurate, he's going to be a big deal for us. Elliot Allen, not so much. And Hugh Mitchell will sign as well, the 15-year-old goalkeeper. So we'll keep these 3 off the board for now. Look to scout them out a little bit more. Although, in fairness, it doesn't hurt to just go ahead and sign Rose and King, especially with the guys we just got rid of. That's why I wanted to take care of that little bit of maintenance. Let's save Sweden for last. Let's check out Spain with Medeiros. Victor Soriano, yikes. We'll at least leave you on the list. Maybe you'll end up being a little bit better somehow. Andreas Fieras, looking pretty damn good. Sign you up. Nacho Camacho. I'm signing him for the name at least. Come on. Alex Garcia, 64 to 88, not too bad. And Americo Ortiz will leave you on the list for now. Nacho Camacho. Why couldn't he be 95 to 97 potential? That's unfair, EA. That's unfair. Let's see what Ennis has found in Sweden. Alexander Eklund, 72 to 94. Could be anywhere from a left back, right back. I'm going to guess he's a center mid with that height. But Eklund will be signed. Fredrickson, not so much. What about Jan Persson? No. Okay, so we have Eklund at the very least. not a terrible start. Not a terrible start as far as these new recruits. So with that, nothing else really to do but more of the same. I'll see you guys December 1st. We're back again, and overall, while November won't be known as a great month for us, we've still solidified our spot in a way, still finding ourselves in 16th in the league table. Unfortunately, we were bounced from the FA Cup by Notts County. They absolutely ran the show. Winless this month. Winless, so that's, I was trying to be nice, right? I was trying to keep our players somewhat motivated by saying, hey, it's not all that bad. We solidified our spot. We picked up 1 point in the month and also got bounced from the FA Cup. But we're still doing okay. The manager rating's quite high still, which is surprising. And now it's time for the main event. The main event of every monthly update. And that is to take a look at the team as it stands, see who might get bounced from the club in terms of just who is not going to make it. So we know that Meyer is good to go. Hans Newman eventually will be replaced, but we still need him for now. So we do have Morgan, who's still good to go. We now have Elliot Roberts as well. The left mid, allow me to just mark down that name as Elliot Roberts is good to go. Alex Garcia, although his value has dropped, is good to go, as is the Swede, thankfully. Alex Eklund will be hanging around, so George Rose, I hate to tell you, buddy, but your time here might be just about up, depending on the potential. In the midfield, we have Sean Bailey, and that's it, unless we choose to keep old Nacho Camacho, which I think I have to. I'm pretty sure the people would revolt if I get rid of him. At center back, we're looking very good. So we still have Kelly, Morgan, and Weber, and we've added Ferreras to that mix. So the future's looking somewhat bright in terms of defense. And then goalkeeping-wise, we do have Hugh Mitchell. So Mitchell will also be worth keeping. Let's take a look, though, at the Youth Academy before moving on. Let's see who is, in fact, worth keeping and who will be leaving before we bring in these new recruits. So Peter Harris, not on the list of those with promising development. 62 to an 80. Peter, I'm sorry. Your time here. Fuck me, it didn't hit down. Thank you, menu lag. Well, we signed Peter Harris for the moment. He will eventually be released. Gotta love menu lag. Morgan will obviously be staying. 69 to an 85 now, so not too bad. Elliot Roberts isn't going anywhere. 79 to a 94. We'll be looking to train him up as soon as possible. Oscar King was not on that list. And unfortunately, 63 to an 81 here. I'm going to make sure. Okay, good. We can't possibly sign him. Oscar King is going to be on the way out. Hugh Mitchell isn't going anywhere. Fieras, Kelly, Garcia. Actually, wow, Fieras is looking crazy too. Or Ferreras, I should say. Those Spaniards, man. He and Garcia both looking great. R.G. Kelly's going nowhere. George Rose, the bloom's off the rose, buddy. You're out of here. Sean Bailey will stay. Mason Morgan as well, 72 to an 86. I'm glad he's working out for us. Eklund, 72 to a 92. Goddamn, Torsten Weber going nowhere. And Nacho Camacho. We'll leave him, but if we have to get rid of somebody to make space, then he is going to be the one on the outs. We'll have it be like that, at least. It'll be fair. He'll stay for as long as he can be. Peter Harris, I regret ever signing you, and you'll certainly be on the way out sooner rather than later. So with that, let's go ahead and get the updates. We'll start in England, as we always do. Connor Lee, 59 to a 79. We'll hold off on signing you for the moment. Morgan Roberts will definitely be signed. Harrison Bell, 62 to an 84. We'll hold off for the moment. Lance Bennett, 55 to a 75. And Ed Jackson, 59 to an 83. We'll hold off on signing those four. So we only add one more Englishman. We will go to Sweden next with Ennis. We start off with Peter Fredriksson, who's not going to make it. Jan Persson not going to make it as well. But we have two new boys here. Hans Arvidsson, yes, 66 to a 90. And Joachim Bergstrom, 62 and an 86 isn't bad. I'm going to sign both of these guys up. Why the hell not? We'll see how good Arvidsson is, especially in terms of overall as a 17-year-old. And then from Spain, Victor Soriano, not going to happen. Americo Ortiz, I'll sign him up for the moment. Why not? Juan Maresca is not going to be signed at the moment. Rodriguez, no. Sergio Torres, no. Pablo Escobar. I'll sign him too for the moment. And the last guy, Jose Manuel, will avoid signing him. So in Spain, it didn't help out that much in terms of improving our current situation, but it is very clear that we have some talented players involved right now, which is pretty nice. And actually, let's take a look. So, of course, with Moritz Meyer being here, things are looking good in that regard. But again, the likes of Morgan, Elliot Roberts, Morgan Roberts, though, go figure, will probably end up being ditched. Ortiz isn't that great, but we do have the two Swedes. Actually, the three, Arvidsson, Eklund, and Bergstrom. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll keep Camacho and Escobar for the moment, for the memes, if anything. But with that, let's go ahead. We'll go at least one more month, if not more, to try and bring us up to the January window. So let's see. Hopefully we can start getting back to our winning ways here throughout the month of December. Well, as you can tell by the standings, December wasn't exactly a banner month for us either. We're currently sitting 18th in the league table. I'd certainly say any hope of making the playoffs already out the door. But at the very least, we're a little bit ahead of the level of Stevenage in terms of finishing dead last in the Football League table. So we got that going for us. Thank God there is no relegation. That said, let's do what we always do. Let's take a look at any progression of our prospects before bringing in the new boys. So we still have Meyer hanging in there at a 61. Again, we have Morgan and Roberts, and then Morgan Roberts, who will probably be dropped. Garcia and Eklund are still good to go. And then, of course, the two new additions, the two Swedish additions from last time out, Bergstrom and Arvidsson will be hanging around. So Americo Ortiz probably on the way out. In terms of the midfield, we still have Sean Bailey. He's the only half-decent one. Camacho and Escobar, of course, will stay for the moment. Center back-wise, we're good to go with Ferreras, Kelly, Morgan, and Weber. And in goal, we still have Hugh Mitchell, who we've been trying to train up. So let's take a look at everybody else to see if anyone has a half-decent potential that makes them worth keeping around, although the answer will probably be no. So Morgan safe. Roberts is safe. Morgan Roberts, though, 63 to an 81. Not promising. 17 years old. Sorry, buddy. The name's great, but you're gone. Mitchell safe. Eros is safe. Kelly and Garcia, Bailey, Mason, Morgan. Actually, in fairness, let's take a look. So Morgan down to a 69-83, which is still okay. Roberts is still killing it potential-wise. Ferreras is looking good. Mitchell, not so much, but good enough for what we need him to be. He could be a keeper here for the next 15 years if we needed him to be. Garcia's still looking okay. Kelly's still looking okay. Mason Morgan, unfortunately, has dropped off a bit in terms of his max potential. Eklund's still looking good, though, at a 73 to a 91. Weber looking okay. Ortiz, 65 to an 81. He's going to be on the way out. Nacho Camacho, aside from the name, it's not looking that good. Bergstrom, though, looking great so far. Escobar as well, a bit rough. Arvidsson's okay as well. So we're looking good. I'm not really complaining. Hopefully we can find a left back or right back or two. Maybe another striker as well, seeing as Meyer's really the only guy that we have at the moment, as McCullough has gone back to Doncaster, which is fine. Let's see here. What do we have waiting for us in England? We have Connor Lee. That's not going to happen. We have Harrison Bell. That's not going to happen. Ed Jackson, 71 to an 89, 5'5". I'd hope he's not a center back. And we'll go ahead and sign him up. Lance Bennett, 60 to a 76. We'll deny that. Billy Shaw, 71 to a 94. Very promising. Very promising. Toby Kelly as well, 73 to a 94. England paying out right now. We are, unfortunately, going to have to drop Nacho Camacho and Pablo Escobar. I hate to say it, guys, but they got to go. They have to. We got to do what we got to do here, and we're probably going to have to promote some guys to the main team. But Toby Kelly will be signed. Jonathan Hill, not so much. So England was quite kind to us. As we have our final reports for both Spain and Sweden, let's take a look here. It's the Swedes up first. Fredriksson, not going to be signed. Persson not going to be signed, but from there we have Nystrom and Lindstrom. Let's see what we get. Lucas Nystrom, 68 to 92. Very promising. And Anton Lindstrom, 65 to 87. He will be signed as well. We are going to either have to ditch someone or sign someone, and we'll probably look to sign someone. Billy Shaw, I'm a little bit worried about that low overall. But Elliot Roberts could be... I wish he could be signed. He's only 15. So let's see. 52, 54 for Kelly. What do we have right now in terms of high overalls? Ferreras is looking okay. Weber's up to a 57, but he's 15 as well. So Eklund could be brought in. Ferreras could be brought in. And Toby Kelly. Let's sign... actually, Eklund couldn't either. So yeah, I think it'll be Kelly and Andreas Ferreras that are going to be brought in. So Toby Kelly goes from being scouted to immediately promoted. And Andreas Ferreras, the Spaniard, will be brought in as well. That gives us space to sign Lindstrom. And, of course, we still have to take a look at our final scouting report from Spain. We start off with Soriano. That's not going to happen. Maresca, 64 to 82. No, thank you. Sergio Torres, also no. Gabriel Rodriguez, absolutely not. Jose Manuel, we're going to avoid for obvious reasons. Jesus Aurelio, not going to happen. Horatio Sanchez is up next. And Horatio Sanchez. Oh, boy. Well, we'll be signing him up. Diego Rodriguez will also be signed. Alonso, not so much. So we still have to look at signing one other person or dropping somebody and trying to at least base it off of, or base it, not based it, it's not a turkey, trying to base it off of overall, but unfortunately some of our higher overall guys are the 15-year-olds in the bunch. Archie Kelly at a 51 overall might be the guy because we could use that defensive help. Archie, you're not exactly ready, but congratulations. You are going to be signed. We are going to bring in Diego Rodriguez. And needless to say, the Youth Academy right now is firing on all cylinders. Unfortunately, Moritz Meyer's hurt. And I didn't see for how long. I think I discarded of it. Let me take a look at the squad hub. How long is Meyer out for? I think it's just a minor injury, right? I certainly hope so. Either that, no, okay, so he's just dead fitness-wise. That makes sense. So he's not hurt. He's just fucking exhausted. That would make sense. That's fine. Let me go ahead. Well, first and foremost, we do need to set up the next month. Now, I could, based on other suggested countries, and you know what? I think I will. It's tough because for serious countries, we have Brazil, Belgium, Croatia, Italy, and Uruguay. For joking, we have China, South Korea, Finland, Japan, the U.S., and Peru. How do we want to handle that? Do I want to leave it up to a vote? I think I might. How much longer until our next game? Okay, so we play Northampton here very shortly. So let's go ahead and keep the scouting the same for this week. Or the training the same for this week. I'll readdress that afterwards. I just want to get to this game against Northampton, and we'll change up the lineup and see what the new lineup is looking like heading forward. And then from there, I'll leave it up to you guys. Again, we need a serious country, so whether it is, the likes of Brazil, Belgium, Croatia, Italy, Uruguay, or somebody else, if you have someone else in mind as a, known hockey power, joking-wise as well, I'll give you a look again at the list of countries that we have, but we need one of each. So yeah, Meyer is good to go, but again, we're kind of just continuing to run this team into the ground. So we'll take out Wharton, and who else do we want to take out? Let's take out that center back just to make sure that our guys are getting into the lineup. So Harris is ours. Of course, we accidentally signed him, and I'm thinking we're going to keep him in. And we'll play him next to Kelly. And then defensively, technically Wilson would do well. Yeah, I don't want a 6'3" left back. Thank you. Fierros might actually do okay at left back rather than Wilson. So Bakayogo is going to be out. And we're also going to be bringing in Kelly for Ellis. So the team's changing up a little bit as we're continuing to put a little bit more of an emphasis on our actual players. And as far as the captain goes, Let me know what you think, but I think we're going to hand it to Meyer for the moment. So with that, oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Do we want to end it quickly? I still want to keep going. You know what? I want to leave it up to you guys as far as what we handle next, scouting-wise, right? I want to leave that up to you guys at the very least. I'm not sure if we're only going to be going 3 months at a time through the season. I'll probably look to change that as we continue along. But I want to get you involved here in the early stages. So I'll tell you what. Make sure any country that you want me to scout in the next few months, bring it up. I'm going to keep track. And as far as whatever the more popular votes are, I'll go through those countries in that order so we can make a little bit more progress. But again, Canada's off limits for now. We already scouted there, but we have the Mexico and the U.S. Every South American country is available to be scouted. Every African country is available to be scouted. Every Asian country, and Saudi Arabia as well, Australia, New Zealand, every country in this region is good to go. Only one off limits from here, of course, would be Germany. Only one off limits from here would be Spain. And then, of course, from here, we already have England covered. Sweden is also off the list. Let me know. That way I can get a backlog and know exactly what I can do so I don't feel compelled to stop an episode after 3 months every single time. But so far, so good. Still in the early stages of this series as we continue to carve this out and see what this is going to be. Again, not the most success in terms of the league table, and I would expect us, honestly, to be a little bit worse as we continue on through this season, as we continue to sign some of these younger guys, get them into the lineup. It's going to be a struggle, but eventually, hopefully within a season or two, maybe 3, we can find ourselves moving up to League One. For now, though, that'll do it for this one. Again, glad you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know down in the comments. Anything and everything. Doesn't have to be related to the scouting, but let me know where you'd like to see us look for the next few hopeful superstars that'll be joining this team. You know the deal. Support the video. Support the channel. Everything in the description. All that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.